Quick question. If something mattered to you, like really mattered to you, something like maybe your physical health, would you treat it like a free sample at Costco? If you've ever wondered why some gyms hand out free classes and free weeks and first months for $1 or anything like that, this video is going to clear that up and show you why we don't do that at my gym and why lots of gyms like mine don't do that either. Hey, I'm Noah. I own Lumos Fitness Collective in Austin, Texas. We are a former CrossFit gym that has, for a number of years, followed our own path. We unite a lot of different things under one small, sometimes leaky roof. We're kind of nerdy, we're very intentional, and one of the things that surprises people is this: we don't really do free classes. At most, we do one once a quarter when we remember to. And that's not because we're mean. I think we're pretty nice, and it's not because we're elitist. The collective in our name is not an accident. It's because we care a lot about how people actually get better. And today I want to walk through the thinking behind that, the difference between exercise and training, the real cost of free, where on-ramps or foundations programs come from, and why not giving things away is often a mark of quality. So stick around, because by the end you'll know exactly whether our approach makes sense for you and how to start if it does. So first things first, let's talk about exercise and training. That is the big technical one. Before we understand any of this, we need to understand that difference. This usually boils down to intention, because movements, modalities, equipment, all of those could be used for either pursuit. The difference maker here is the why behind what you're doing. Exercise tends to be done for the enjoyment or the experience of that session alone, whereas training involves greater purpose, specifically purpose to improve or to build a certain characteristic or characteristics. Usually that's in pursuit of a goal. So I can go on a hike to enjoy nature, to connect with a friend, or to just spend time off my phone. That's great. That's exercise. But if I want to hike a big old mountain, I would need to hike longer or further each week, or with a heavier pack. That would be training. Most free classes are designed for exercise programs. You drop in whenever, you do whatever. There's no long-term thread. Training, on the other hand, assumes continuity. It assumes that you're coming back. It assumes we're building skills and capacity and understanding over time. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Free classes don't usually select for people who want to train. They select for people who want to try a vibe. Now, we do that occasionally, but when we do, we program specifically to be appropriate for the people trying us the first time and for their friends who've brought them to the gym. Because if you just hopped into a class, it would be like jumping into, fourth wing halfway through. You might enjoy what passes for writing, or maybe if you love sexy dragons or sexy people or whatever's in that book, you might dig the vibe, but you'd be confused. And at the end of the book, your total understanding of the complex geopolitical themes of that novel, your understanding would be incomplete. All right, when I said I wasn't an elitist, I lied. I'm an elitist about books. Mea culpa. Either way, I think we get the difference now. Exercise is random sweat. Training can certainly be sweaty, but it's sweat with purpose. Exercise is, whoa, I kicked my ass. But training is, that moved me forward. And that difference feeds directly into how gyms design their business models. And that is long-term member-driven models versus churn models. Most gyms that offer lots of free classes aren't doing it because it's pedagogically sound. They're doing it because one way to play the fitness business game is to win the volume game. You get high traffic in, there's high traffic out, constant churn. That model needs free, frictionless entry because it assumes that most people aren't staying long anyway. You get them in easy, you sign them up for a month or two, bonus points if you make it really hard to get out of a contract, and boom, profit. Well, our model is the opposite. We build around long-term members. We want people who train here for years, not weeks. People whose names we know, people whose injuries and comebacks we understand and have been along for the ride, strengths and limits and goals that we actually program for. We have a wall at my gym devoted to people who've been at the gym for longer than 5 years, and our average member sticks around for more than 3 years. I've been training some of these jabronis since I was a coach in Brooklyn. I don't think that they specifically moved to Texas for me, but I've never asked them because that would be weird. I will assume they did. Anyway, I hope you get it. Free classes optimize for speed. Our system optimizes for durability. And you really can't do both at the same time. So let's talk about a part that nobody likes to say out loud. And this is the challenge with free classes and members there for the first time. It's the real cost of a brand new person. Because a brand new person is awesome. We love new people at the gym, but they are also work. A brand new athlete puts a huge cognitive and coaching load on a class. They need more eyes. They need more cues, more explanations, even just directions to the bathroom. We draw the line at my gym at what they do once they're inside the bathroom, but you do you. That attention doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from the coach, and it often comes from more experienced members whose focus shifts from training to welcoming a new friend. And again, that's cool, but you can't have a welcome party every day. When you flood a class with free first-timers, what you're really doing is taxing the people who are already committed, and you're making your expert coaches work even harder than they already do. Now, if your gym doesn't have expert coaches, well, I guess you could skip this message. So what do you do to make sure that everybody is happy, that everybody is safe, that everybody is learning as much as they can in every hour that they spend at the gym? It's simple. You build introductory programs that exist to protect the class experience, both for the new people and for everyone else. Free classes skip that step, but you better believe that the cost is being paid somewhere. And that brings us to where the idea of a foundations or an on-ramp program came from. And that comes from the CrossFit community, because I'd love to say we invented this idea, but we didn't. Pretty quickly after CrossFit made the jump from a weird internet forum to equally weird warehouse gyms, most CrossFit boxes, at least the good ones, stopped doing free classes because they were teaching powerful, valuable, fun movements, things like Olympic lifting and gymnastics and higher skill functional training. But those movements and their high skill meant a high educational expectation. To make sure everyone had a base level of understanding and time to practice, on-ramps, foundations, fundamentals programs, those were born. These aren't a money grab, they were a safety and a quality solution. Whatever you call the program, it's a period before you join the larger group, where we teach people the most important skills and movements. We expose them to the lingo and our culture. We make sure their systems and all the apps are set up and running, and that's all before they join their first group class. Some gyms do it in small groups of people. We do it one-on-one for even more coaching exposure. It's about teaching people how to practice, teaching them skills, teaching them progression and the value of progression, teaching them context, how things fit into the bigger picture. CrossFit did a great job of not being just another workout you try or the class I take on alternating Tuesdays. They wanted to be the last workout, the last class you'd ever try. And we've changed some stuff since we de-affiliated, but we've only leaned harder into that concept. My goal is that every new member is a member for life, as long as they like cool books. So what does all this add up to say? It's that no free classes are often a mark of quality and an indication of a gym's scale. Because when a gym doesn't offer or offers very limited free classes or offering, it signals something important. They value coaching time. They value class quality. They value long-term development over a short-term impression. You're not paying for access at these gyms. You're paying for attention, for structure, for standards. Free is not generous if it undermines the thing that you are trying to build. And this wouldn't be a complete me video if I didn't get a quick dig in on late-stage capitalism. Because if you peel back that shiny layer of marketing materials or glossy social media posts, you will find a converse relationship between free offerings and scale. With the biggest corporate gyms, the Planet Fitnesses at the top, franchise gyms like Orange Theory's in the middle, and independent, family-run, unique, beautiful gyms built out of blood, sweat and more sweat of their owners, coaches, and members. Gyms like mine, we're at the bottom. Like many dumb, boring, gross things in this broken economy, the big guys can afford to give it away, absorb the loss, take tax deductions, attract more investors by displaying growth, perform dark rites in shadowy boardrooms while wearing dark cloaks and stag antlers. I don't know. Okay, I got it all out. But it's true. It's a question you need to ask yourself. Do I want to be part of large-scale corporate fitness? Or do I want a place like Cheers, where everybody knows your back squat? And if you've been practicing your double unders or not. All right, you've survived me singing. If this perspective has been resonating with you, please take a half second to like the video, to subscribe. We want to be an educational channel. We want to talk a lot about training, about culture, and about doing fitness in a way that actually lasts. So, here is the takeaway. Exercise is easy to give away, but training isn't. Churn models need free classes. Community models cannot afford them. New people deserve context, not chaos. And experienced members and coaches deserve it even more so. Foundations programs exist to protect quality, even for people who would feel socially or emotionally comfortable just jumping into the deep end of a group class. And sometimes the absence of free is actually a sign of care. So if that sounds like your kind of gym, awesome. And if not, that's okay too. Clarity beats conversion every day of the week. And if you watch this and you're local and you think, wow, Lumos would be a good fit, well, obviously the first step isn't a free class, it's a free intro. It's low pressure, it's one-on-one, we sit down, we talk goals and history and whether training here actually makes sense for you and for us. The link's in the description. And if you can't stand my face, or maybe you love my face, but you live in a different city, and you're looking for a gym, well, now you should know what to look for. You can just ask them how they get their people started and why. Their answer will tell you everything you need to know. Thanks for watching. Next week, I'll be sitting down with somebody doing this podcast style. Hope you check it out, and I will see you soon. Later.